My name is NURHIKMAH binti LABACO, BB 17110629. I will present about the country, Part 1. Moldova is a small country that most people have never heard of. The country is landlocked, situated in Eastern Europe, bordered to the west by Romania and to the north, east and south by Ukraine. The country is divided into 32 districts with Chisinau as its capital and largest city. LOLLETha, the underground wine city, are some of the major tourist attractions in Moldova. It holds the Guinness World Record for the biggest seller and biggest wine in the entire world. LOLLETha was founded in 1969 to store high-quality amato wines in the preserve. Next tourist attractions is the monastery of Hanchu, founded in 1678 by the High Steward Mihail Hanchu in place of the Hermitage of the Nun, to fulfill the wish of one of his daughters who became a nun, whose name was Parasheva. Third tourist attraction is the Museum of Ethnography and Natural History, founded as the country's oldest museum as of October 1889. It was originally developed as an agricultural museum but then extended to include the study of the Arabian culture. Tourist growth in Moldova has increased in terms of tourist flows in the last decades, both as a diversification of demand for tourism and tourism goods. These improvements give the tourism industry in Moldova cause for positive prognosis. However, with only 11,000 tourists per year, Moldova is by far the least visited country in the whole Europe. To add, Moldova is also the poorest country in Europe according to GDP per capita. The state often struggles miserably to promote Moldovan tourism. It appears to be the last thing in the minds of the people.
My name is LOLLETHA Rita ABIDIN, BB 17110069. I will explain on 30 years journeys for going and returning travel to Moldova.
The journey will begin at Kota Kinabalu in January 2020. It covers some destinations in Moldova, which include Chisinau, Craiova, Orhel-Veci, Soroca, Editina, Palti, Velesti, Capriana, Comrat, Vulcanesti, and also Tiraspol. Our group is expected to return to Kota Kinabalu in August 2050. The journey will involve 6 different types of transportation. Firstly is airplane. It is an important mode of transportation for both domestic and international countries, as it will transport people to long distance. Next is bus. It is a cheaper and very common transportation in Moldova. Train is another transportation that involved. It is also cheap and typically travel at fast speed with no traffic. Apart from that is bullet train. It is also known as high-speed rail and capable of reaching a maximum speed of 320 km per hour. Next is car. We consider to use car because it is flexible and provide element of freedom when traveling on road. Last but not least is ferry. It gives a relaxing way of travel. It has more space to relax and to move around. As the world and transport sector are changing, the mobility needs and patterns will be affected because the group will grow and aging. Our group will demand for a new transportation service in Moldova along with the development of technology in the future. There are several factors to be considered, which are the accessibility to reach the destination, fuel efficiency, speed, carrying capacity, comfort and safety when choosing the transportation.
My name is NURHIDAYAH binti ABDUL and I will present about the country Part 2. First is overall image of Moldova. Being a landlocked country does not prevent Moldova from being attractive tourist destination. Republic of Moldova has a high potential geomorphological of its territory, an incredible diversity of scenery and unique geographical monuments of Europe and world value. Tourism industry has to put in more exertion into domestic tourism since it is contributor to Moldova economy. By addressing the right employment and infrastructure, tourism contribution to the economy will increase. Next is Moldova major issues and challenges in travel and transportation. The Republic of Moldova attributes significant importance of country's transport system. The attention is concentrating on reconstruction and renovating transports as well as relevant infrastructure. It is important to ensure efficient management of all modes of transportation and to facilitate international transport, inclusive the transit through the region of Republic of Moldova. Moldova initiates numerous methods of enhancing and developing the effectiveness of regional collaboration. For local transportation issues, most of Moldova infrastructure is underdeveloped. Some highways are not well maintained, which can cause to dangerous conditions. The driver must be extra cautious when driving at night, as most of the highways are lacking adequate lighting. Moreover, there are still drivers that often fail to take appropriate safety controls and do not follow traffic laws. As for international transportation issues, airlift activities are limited because of their territory to its main export and import markets, while most of the export had a low value to volume ratio. Even though Moldova has 4 aviation fields, only Chisinau International Airport is fully functional and serves international relations, while the other 3 are providing sporadic services and still underdeveloped. As for development and infrastructure constraint on travel and transportation, since 1991, there has almost no contribution made in infrastructure in Republic of Moldova. The maintenance constraint is raised by the fact that Moldova has to engage in geological problems in its western sector, which caused substantial destruction to main corridors in the past. Moldovan railway infrastructure operational and technical conditions are poor and even suffered a decline since former Soviet Union's integrated railway network disappeared. Due to the lack of funds, consider railway public financing network which must be completely protected by train operators.
My name is Kelvin. Today I'm going to present about the government policy on travel and transportation in Moldova. First of all, road conditions in Moldova are very bad, signage are often missing, and the roads are poorly maintained. There are very little road lamp. As a consequences, the roads are poorly lit. Night driving are therefore not suggested. It is also very common to see tractors, bicycles, horse-drawn carts, pedestrian and livestock on the same road, so it is considered quite dangerous as people are traveling in different kind of speed on the road. Moldovan drivers are also considered aggressive in behavior. Pedestrians need to be extra cautious while crossing the street because not all drivers will stop for pedestrians even at crosswalks. The traffic law of Moldova can only tolerate a maximum legal blood alcohol content of 0.02%, while in Malaysia, the maximum legal blood alcohol content is 0.08%. It is very easy to get fined or arrested if you are driving under the influence of alcohol, even just a little bit. Public transportation in Moldova is well developed, but it still needs to be upgraded or maintained. For example, some trains and buses are old enough that you may worry that it can break down anytime. Taxis are available in most urban areas, but the car's model can vary from very old to some relatively new models. Road emergency service are generally prompt and can reach by calling 112 for both police and the ambulance service, but you may not be able to find an English-speaking operator as the official language of Moldova is Romanian. Next, to answer the question, how do the country plan and manage tourism industry? Moldova is only a small country, but it has a very great potential as a tourist destination. For example, unusual landscape preservation or diversity of scenery and unique geological relics of European and world value. The government of Republic of Moldova focused the tourism as in rural, wine, cultural, health, and beauty tourism for the last decades. Throughout 2009 and 2012, Moldovan government promoted their country as tourist destination internally and externally. Annual participation of Moldovan government joined with economics agent of the tourism industry in international tourism exhibition with its own stand to reflect the country tourism potential. Next, promotional material were edited and disseminated to make it more appealing for prospective tourists. Thirdly, Republic of Moldova created an annual organization in common with the Exhibition Center, MO Expo, that specialize in international exhibition of tourism, leisure, and hotel industry. Annual organization of events of a tourist nature also have been carried out. Example of the events are Y Vernissage, Kinsinau City Day, Bostaniada gastronomic events, and more. Lastly, registration with number 23853 in the National Register of the Tourist Trademark of the Republic of Moldova, which obtain protection on the territory of the Republic of Moldova for 10 years, starting with 20th of April 2011. Lastly, what are the major impacts of COVID-19 to the country? The Republic of Moldova restricted the permission to enter Moldova for foreigners until 30th of June, unless you are a family members of Moldovan citizen, person with a business visit visa, person holding a long stay visa, cross-border workers, passenger in transit, and so on. The Moldovan government also closed most border crossing to Ukraine and Romania. Besides, Moldova require a 14-day homestay quarantine for new arrivals with certain exception. However, public transportation in Moldova still operates as normal, while non-essential businesses and attraction in Moldova remain closed. In terms of economic impacts, Moldova's economy is affected as consequences to the COVID-19 pandemic. The lockdown of the country did a serious blow to the economy of the country, which could affect near 20% of GDP in Q2. Moldova is also vulnerable inflows of foreign currency, which expect to reach 24 to 27% of further blow to the economy. Freight transportation decreased by 15% in March compared to the same month of 2019. Tourism sector are expected to cut travel by 25% and cost more than 100 million jobs. That is all for our presentation. Thank you for your time.